What is up, guys? Dave from the Madden YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to talk about whether or not the stretch is nerfed as a result of the November 5th, 2020 patch. But before we get into the video, please do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button. Also, make sure you guys take the time to hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the uploads coming your way here on the Madden YouTube channel. If you guys want to take your game to the next level, check out my brand new strategy site, gridirongameplans.gg. Gridiron Game Plans is your one-stop source for all things competitive Madden. Every week in our Vault update, we take a look at the meta, or the most effective tactics available amongst pro players in Madden 21, breaking down how and why they do what they do, but most importantly, showing you how to counter those tactics in online head-to-head gameplay. On top of that, your subscription also includes any and every offensive and defensive game plan on the site while your subscription is active. Currently, that's our 3+ hour Washington football team offense and our 2+ hour 4-6 defensive game plan, with plans for a brand new offensive game plan to be coming to the site here in the month of November, on top of your sub benefits that you receive in the Vault and our meta report that gets released bi-weekly, paying attention to the trends in the MCS circuit. Okay, guys, without further ado, let's get into today's video. We're going to be talking about whether or not the stretch has had a impactful change since the most recent title update. As you guys know, stretch is probably the most important run in Madden 21. It was definitely the best run in Madden 20. It's something that a lot of players center their offense around. A lot of players will choose a playbook based off of whether or not they can audible down into stretch. And now today's patch notes that they have noticed a trend in online head-to-head gameplay that the yards per carry on stretch was not in a reasonable zone for what they want that run to be. Now, you can sit here and debate how they can either buff or nerf certain plays however you want. I tend to lie on just give us balance, don't go under the hood and change things from a block shed standpoint. Don't make it so players just block shed because on certain run calls, because that leads to maybe I would play a outside linebacker or a defensive end on the edge that doesn't necessarily need block shed, and he'll do just fine against the stretch, but any other run he reverts back to being who he is. And to me, anytime you get away from stats on a player or make them matter less, that's something that concerns me. But let's not go ahead and speculate. Let's go ahead and see what it actually looks like. We're actually in the Carolina offense, very popular offense. A lot of players love to audible down into the wing stack. They like to audible down into the strong close out of the bunch. So a lot of players will just put a extra running back or a second tight end on the field in bunch to allow them to audible down in these sets. We're going to go ahead and skip that, and we're just going to go ahead and take the field here. And what I want to do is just kind of call this against your nickel 3-3-5. Let's go ahead and do kind of your two-man under. I just want to see kind of how the players are shedding. Now, the rumor is this current patch that players are actually playing stretch a lot better. They're block shedding. The blocks are taking a little bit longer to set up. They're not hooking guys nearly as well. We're going to kind of take a look at those trends and see, just in general, how it looks. Both, strong side, weak side. We're going to choose random play here. Kind of want to go through a number of different, defensive fronts and kind of get an idea. Obviously, 3-3-5, as we're seeing right here, is one of the more popular defensive formations in Madden. This is just stock two-man under. 3-3-5 wide is another good run defense that players like to use. I wouldn't even say necessarily that 3-3-5 normal is a formation people stop the run out of, but we're just trying to go through and see what this formation, which is a major meta formation, does from default before you actually make any adjustments. So as you can kind of see right here, very clearly those defensive ends are not block shedding on this, nor would I really expect them to with this defense. I mean, in fact, it is a 3-3 defense, meaning 3 linemen, 3 linebackers. As I run at the edge, it still appears that they're, playing pretty decent. I'm not seeing any instant block sheds that alarm me to say never call this run again. So, that looks kind of good. Now, let me go ahead and go back into the I-form close. I'm going to keep running this stretch here, and I'm just going to choose random play. We're just going to start to see how different formations, are they shedding? Are they playing well? I mean, you can kind of see we're getting to the outside. That was against the over plus, running it to the over shifted side of the formation, which kind of leads to concern. This is the 4-3-6-1. This is a defense that is specifically designed to stop stretch. This is a defense that a lot of teams back when the Rams were in the Super Bowl that year. I know the Bears ran it against them, and I know the Patriots also ran that against them that year. And both those teams obviously slowed down that scheme considerably. So you definitely want to see the 4-3-6-1 stop the stretch. Looks pretty good there, at least in terms of the way guys are pursuing. I'm not seeing anything that's alarming me to the instant block sheds or anything wild like that. I mean, you see right here, we're able to get outside. I-form close stretch is still probably the best stretch in the game. Let me go ahead and, since we're kind of running that particular stretch, I'm going to pull up a second controller just to kind of control defense and do some meta things here. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and put the defensive controller on right here, and we'll go back to the play call menu to try to get this set up. So start to do some more of the meta type stuff. But initial testing, I mean, again, very, very short samples. That random plays aren't really, I mean, right there, pretty decent block shed. But for the most part, we weren't seeing anything super alarming on the front of stretch really being blown up, at least when you have a fullback on the field. Now, of course, the other stretch that I mentioned that was pretty good was the halfback stretch out of wing stack. A lot of players love that. I am going to sit here with the random defense against this as well. Kind of see decent pursuit by Bobby Wagner. You would expect that, one of the better inside backers in football, if not the best. Double A gap, again, pretty, I mean, that was good pursuit by Jamal Adams, just, I guess, unlucky result as we didn't match a tackle animation there. Is I'm just kind of running this here, you know, I'm not sitting here right there, good inside backer pursuit once again. Yeah, maybe. I'm kind of noticing here when you go into the single back that guys are kind of flowing in space a little bit better. Nobody really getting hands on Bobby Wagner. I don't know if that's just because it's Bobby Wagner, if that's the way it goes. I'm gonna start to try to run to some weak side stuff here. Let's see how this looks. Definitely noticeable shed right there against the single back stretch. So maybe we're talking more of a single back stretch nerf. I always try to look at the way guys block shed. Does it make sense? Are they playing animations that are, you know, a little bit slower, or are they getting these pop animations, these instant shed animations? And those are the animations you always look at to see if they are, you know, if they're being tuned or not. Now, I don't know if they've been tuned under the hood. I mean, I would anticipate that would be the case, because EA said in the patch notes, which I will link below in the description, that they are tuning the yards per carry. And the only way you could really do that is by tuning the types of disengage and block shed animations and how quickly the timers occur, or where they occur when the player gets to the outside. So you see right here, it appears like once I get to basically the tackle, you notice that guy starts to block shed. Which is something that you pay attention to. Okay, well, if I start to do this a little bit more often, our guys really popping off blocks. Yeah, it appears that the guy did there. Is that ratings related, or is that being forced under the hood by EA? That's kind of what you want to look at as you run this. Again, as you kind of go out here, again, not really getting to the second level. That could be something that EA would do, not allowing players to peel off of double teams and get that inside linebacker at that second level. Always something to kind of look at. So, I mean, you kind of see right here, this is a double team where you would expect Reed to peel off right here and go get 5-7, but right here he doesn't. He stays on that double team, and it allows that player at the second level to flow around, scrape, and funnel the run back to the inside. So to me, I would say maybe the two back stretch is still solid. I am seeing a little bit of inconsistency with the single back stretches, which might have been the whole target for EA from the onset. I'm not really trying to drive a conspiracy theory when I talk about this. It's more or less just trying to, you know, see what changes are occurring in the game. Now let's go ahead and get into some meta stuff. Let's go ahead and talk about, like, you know, what would somebody do defensively against, you know, a stretch if this were like, you know, Madden 20. And one of the first things you would obviously notice would be like spying safeties, right? You know, this has always been a popular meta strategy. You know, and we talk about how block shed is occurring in single back. Let's see how this goes. How are we playing in space? You know, not really peeling and getting to that second level there, at least against the 3-3-5. You know, you want to watch how these linebackers that are off the ball, are they getting combo blocked? You know, where you would see Jordan Reed and number 6'9", the right tackle, peel up to that second level. I'm talking about Reed and McGlinchey. You know, typically you would want to see, you know, some sort of climb to that second level by Reed, and it doesn't really seem like he's attacking him. He's kind of peeling off of that and staying back rather than getting downfield, and that's going to be something you notice as well. To me, just in the initial testing, I'm not seeing that it's like the gaps are changing. It's that the way guys are climbing to the second level are really changing. Again, you can kind of see how Reed here isn't. Notice how 6'3" is like attacking his guy in space. He's targeting him. He doesn't get there, but Reed is really setting back. He's not really attacking downfield. He's running horizontal to the line of scrimmage, which doesn't really give us a whole lot in terms of picking up major yards per carry on this run. So this is, in my opinion, I would say that it's not that you can't run stretch. It's not that you won't be able to pop with stretch. It's that the block targeting seems a little bit more sluggish against the single back, or when you're in single back rather, at it really hitting those players in space than I noticed, at least pre-patch. I would not say that it's not a run that you should ever call. It's just, it's different. I mean, you see right here, the targeting is definitely different at the second level. I'm going to go ahead and leave it there, guys. That is today's video. If you guys are wanting more head-to-head gameplay tip content, definitely check out my website, gridirongameplans.gg. I want to start doing more content here on the YouTube channel as well, but a lot of it's going to be maybe gameplay type stuff, the occasional tip, of course, and then also important dates like today when there's patches, keeping you guys informed and also testing the things that they claim we're changing the game and see if they're impactful or not. So lots of content here on the channel inbound. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, like the video. If you like the video, make sure you guys give it a thumbs up. Any questions, comments, concerns, or complaints, drop those below, and I'll see you guys with our next video. Until then, this is Zan. Get in the lab and good luck.